Let's play. Andy Cook, the setter, back to serve to get things going for the Cougars. Ella Swindle, the freshman setter for Texas. Set back, and Banu with the kill. And an early point for the Texas Longhorns. As that missed the mark. Here's Emma Halter, sophomore libero. So you have a freshman setter in Ella Swindle, a sophomore libero in Emma Halter, and then some veteran players like Skinner, Asia O'Neal, Bella Bergmark, Molly Phillips, as Houston gets their first point.
And you see the trajectory that Houston is trying to play. They're trying to find their middles, get them involved early, because opening up that pin for an attacker like Kenna Sauer is only going to put points on the board for your squad.
Both teams trying to get the middles more involved in the attack. Houston runs a very fast offense. That one is off hands, and a kill and a point for Skinner.
You just look at the elevation of Skinner on that attack. You would think that that easily sailed out, but she caught the tip of the fingers.
Kaylee Akana, excellent on the service line. Junior from Hawaii with her first offering. These are two excellent serving teams. Try to put a lot of pressure on you from the service line. O'Neal on the slide. Dug out by Halter. Swindle. Skinner goes off speed. Georgiadis with the bump. And Banu tries to pick the spot. Long early point. Skinner off a hand, and a point for Texas.
Cook just wasn't able to take care of the ball in that situation, and that is what Coach Rear is saying. He needs to have his squad in it, point for point.
Kind of had a couple of aces, 9 digs in the 4-set win for Texas yesterday. Good serve. Blocked down, O'Neal, Swindle at the net. And Swindle is going to be a factor, not just with the assist, but she's 6'3". She's a defensive factor as well.
And you see that her setting up that block, Swindle does a good job of moving and tracking that ball, and then Asia O'Neal just coming to close.
And Banu picks it off the net. Roll shot, good sliding play by Barnes. Skinner with the hammer, and a good start for Texas here in Houston.
Starting with that dig from Barnes for Texas, just really good job of reading the attacker, going in, placing that on dime on Swindle's head for a Skinner kill.
Akana with a service run here for Texas. 4-0 run right now for the Longhorns. Another good serve. Back row attack, the block goes out of play, and Houston ends the run with the point. Texas on the season hitting at .254 entering the weekend. They hit .322 Saturday. They had 58 kills, just 11 errors. Pretty clean match for the Longhorns, who went 4 against this Houston squad. Swindle looks for Skinner. They'll try again. Skinner goes with the soft shot for the point.
Madison Skinner for Texas has already taken all of the swings for Texas. She's got 6 total attacks. Her team, everyone else has 2. So it's going to be a long night if that ball continues to go to Madison Skinner.
Skinner from nearby Katy, Texas. Homecoming match here for her. And Banu got a lot into that one. The Louisville transfer with the kill. And Houston's within 3 here in set 1.
Nina Mbanu just changes the direction of that ball, going thumb down to that corner.
Houston runs a 6-2, so Morgan Yonda comes on. She is the other setter with Annie Cook. Swindle looks to the left side, flipped over there by Jenna Wennis. On the block, but nice heads-up play by Abby Jackson. Always at the ready, 4th on the Division I active kills list, so she has taken her share of swings in her career.
Now we talk about always be ready, and Abby Jackson just ready with the reflex, putting that ball back on the side of Texas.
12 kills for Jackson yesterday for Houston. Wenis coming off a good match yesterday. That one's tight to the net, but it still works out well for Texas. Missed opportunity there for Houston.
Kind of has to take care of those out of system balls, getting a good placement ball to Jenna Wenis to be able to take an attack, but bailed out there.
Bella Bergmark on. There's Asia O'Neal, one of the very best players in the country, the middle blocker. Play all the way around, get that serve in, excellent server, and this is what Texas did so well yesterday. They got that block going, Jenin, and once they do, it is lights out. They are so strong at the net when they're playing at a high level like they just did right there.
But just talk about how Bergmark IDs where the setter is and then makes that lateral movement to close that block with Jenna Wenis for Texas.
14 blocks yesterday in the four-setter for Texas. Bergmark calls for it.
That's a beautiful transition out of system ball.
Looking for the middle. Tullis. Wenis. Off hands, drop down. Point Texas.
Now let's talk about for the side of Texas, there is no libero on the floor, and they are still handling the ball, doing a good job of putting those balls in the air, out of system. Nice placement for Texas.
You saw the Wenis numbers yesterday. 14 kills, hit 308 for the Longhorns. And on the block, Swindle there again, teaming up with Bergmark.
Already 3 blocks on the match so far. Talk about a block party for Texas. Good job by Swindle of just elevating, going over, and closing it with Bergmark.
O'Neal on a service run. It's a 5-0 run right now for the Longhorns.
Bergmark in the net on that one. Got a little bit excited.
Yep, it's not a 5-0 run for the Longhorns. I got a little bit excited, so feel free to pump my brakes. Net violation, so a point for Houston. And Abby Jackson back to serve. Swindle. Skinner's been so good on the back row attack. Swindle goes to Wenis, finds the opening, gets another kill. She's having a good weekend here in Houston.
And there has to be some communication on the side of Houston to be able to pick that ball up. Jenna Wenis just going over the block, elevating, doing a good job of executing the plan. But Georgianis has to be able to read that and maybe pick that up.
Wenis so far in the first set, 2 kills, 2 blocks for the Longhorns. Libero back on as Halter gets the dig. Big rip, and that one's in. Hot run continues for Wenis. And a timeout's called here by Houston. Wenis was slumping a bit coming into this weekend. The previous 3 matches before yesterday, 15 total kills in those 3 matches. And was hitting at 051. We talked about our good match yesterday with the 14 kills and 3 kills already here in set 1. Swindle with the serve out of the Houston timeout.
And what Texas is doing is applying pressure to this Houston squad. Houston, as a whole, they need to settle into their game, make a nice solid pass to be able to get Kenesawa on that left pin going.
Houston did so many good things in the match yesterday. They dropped set 1. Skinner had 7 kills in that first set, 25-21, but then Houston bounced back. Overpass here, another opportunity for Texas to add to the run. Molly Phillips. Skinner with the dig. Back to Phillips. Georgiadis with the bump. Halter with the dig. Skinner from the back row. That is a weapon that's developing for Texas. Skinner so good up front, but also she's been on the attack from this spot.
And you would think in a normal sport, in a normal opportunity, that ball would be shot all the way to that left pin, but having a person, an athlete like Madison Skinner coming out on that big, lethal for Texas.
Houston goes for the back row attack. From the right side, that's long. A 9-1 run right now for Texas, up by 10 here in the first. Well, we mentioned yesterday, Texas, they hit 500 in set 1 yesterday.
They're on the same path.
368 in set 1 here today. Houston bounced back yesterday, took set 2, made some good adjustments, but right now this looks like where Texas left off in set 4 yesterday when they put that match away.
You're absolutely right, but this is why I love the game of volleyball. It ebbs and flows, and the momentum, every set is a reset for this team. So Houston needs to start right now playing simple volleyball, making that pass, and getting into their offense.
Swindle. Bergmark puts it down. So Houston unable to put together back-to-back points. Texas sides out, and they'll have the serve. Carissa Barnes, senior from Weatherford, Texas. Texas A&M Corpus Christi transfer. Comes on the serve. Good offense there, but missing the mark is Houston. Point for Texas. Sauer had a really good match yesterday. Season high 23 kills, hit 356 so far. Couple of kills, couple of errors, and 7 swings. Back row won't clear, and Texas pulling away here in set number 1. Houston will take their second timeout of the set. The Houston head coach has been coaching for a long time. 24th year overall, American Coach of the Year twice, 30-win season a year ago, and those 2 wins in the NCAA tournament at Creighton. Trying to reset here, taking their second timeout, down by 12. Texas with Barnes serving. Barnes will get there. Couldn't control it, though. The bench scattered to give her a chance to play it. Point for Houston.
When the entire court is available to run down the ball, you make sure you make way. And that's exactly what the bench for Texas did.
And this is a big playing area here at the Fertitta Center. Of course, the home of Houston basketball as well, but there's a lot of room beyond the baseline to make one of those diving plays. I do believe Kate Georgiadis is a candidate for one of those, as we've seen in the past. Swindle. Phillips. And a kill. Much needed point for Sauer in the Cougars, trying to find something to build on here at the end of set 1.
You're exactly right. Just building on simple things, that transition volleyball on the side of Houston, and getting a nice set ball to Kenna Sauer to terminate.
Cook with the serve. There's Georgiadis with the dig. Cook got back after it. Houston's got to bump it over. Swindle works the middle. Bergmark, no. Point, Houston.
And I would say that Morin for Houston got a little bit bailed out in the front row. She needs to have her hands on that ball if she is wanting to stop Bergmark, but Bergmark just went a little wide.
Annie Cook could use a service run like she had yesterday in set 2. That set rather was tied at 17. Madison Skinner has a way of ending any thoughts of going on runs. That's just what Maddie Skinner does.
I think we need to check to see if the ball is still in the abyss, in a portal somewhere. That ball goes straight down.
In the abyss? Are you saying that was hit so far that it made it past the mantle into the Earth's core, into some abyss? Now that's Hoffman's strength right there.
I'm a fan of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So that went into a multiverse there.
You are just a cross-cultural, cross-pop culture. 29, Texas in control, set 1. Swindle sets it back. Phillips on the slide for the kill.
Phillips on the slide. Here's one. She says Karma's my boyfriend. She puts that ball right down the seam of the block. Kenna Sauer needs to move in, position herself a little bit better. But Phillips from Texas is going to take advantage of it.
Banu. Now, beautifully done there. The long bump set to Skinner, who knows what to do with it. Texas 3 points away from taking the set. Mariana Singletary will come on for the first time. Her 9th set of the season. By far the biggest lead that Texas has enjoyed in any of the 5 sets played this weekend, and now an ace. We saw it yesterday with the set on the line in set 3. Houston led 22-18, but then Texas went on a 7-1 run. They showed that championship pedigree. And I think when you come out the next day and you play like Texas is playing right now, I think you're showing that championship pedigree again. This is what great teams do. Great response by Houston at the net, though, to get a point right there. But this set's been all Texas, except for a few moments like that. It's
been all Texas, and you can say that Houston has a very large uphill battle if they want to come back into this set to make something of it. But they have to be able to steal the momentum, and I think with that block, it can do it.
That was Kellen Morin, played well yesterday. Whoa, look at this. Singletary gets a look as they run the middle, and she puts it down.
Singletary for Texas running that 31, a little bit away from the setter, but still at first tempo and doing a beautiful job getting her first kill.
Houston hitting negative here in set number 1. Texas now serving for the set. Barnes, Skinner. That one's going to go long, and it's all Longhorns in set 1. Texas hit 355 in the... Texas 14 kills in the first set, 7 for Houston in set number 1. They averaged 15 kills a set in the 4-setter yesterday, so well below the number, and the score proved that, 25-10 in set 1. Hit the reset button, flush it if you're
Absolutely.
Houston. Whole new match right now. And it's a good start. They run the middle, get the kill, they get the first points. Rachel Tullis, long-time fixture for this Houston lineup. All-time sets played leader in Houston. This is her 504th set of her Houston career. That is a lot of volleyball.
And the focus for Houston, first ball contact, apply pressure at that service line. That's not a way to do it, but you have to figure out in this long set, applying pressure on the service line.
David Rare says this is a team that serves at an elite level, and it doesn't show up in aces necessarily. They've got a really good rotation at the top. Cook to Sauer to Georgiadis. They can make some runs there. 5 aces yesterday. That's their first error of this match. And now an ace the other way from Akana. That looks familiar. I seem to remember the final play of the 2022 volleyball season ending in a similar way in Omaha, with Kayla Akana getting the ace. Skinner once again. Doesn't have to be all velocity. Placement is everything, and she's done it again.
You're absolutely right. It doesn't always have to be those hard-driven balls, and that's the high IQ of an athlete like Maddie Skinner. She knows when to swing, she knows when to take those rips, but she also knows where to place the ball and getting her 8th kill.
3-0 run for Texas to go back in front. Sauer. Good dig there by Halter. Another one from Halter. Off hands, chance here for Texas to set it. Swindle, O'Neal. Well done by Yonda. Good point here.
And this is where Houston has to stay in the point. A long rally is where he sees his team. Coach Bear sees his team down a little bit, but they elevate it there, making sure that they're getting those transition plays.
I think Jared Elliott's going to go to the challenge card here. He thinks there was a touch on that swing. For the moment, they're saying no touch and that it's a point for Houston, but Elliott pulls out the challenge card, so officials will go to the monitor.
And this is a long rally, and the officials have an opportunity to look at it in its totality. Now, I don't see a touch there. And that ball was clearly out, so that is not what we're looking at. What do you see, Eric?
Well, I see what I usually see on touch calls at the net. Nothing very clear. You're looking to see that is there a little flex of a finger, perhaps. That's Katie Corelli. Will blow it up. Our crew, do you see anything happening there? It is so hard to see. This is why this is such a tough one to challenge. You're going a lot off of what your players on the court are telling you, and if you believe them. Jared Elliott was the one who thought there was a touch, and he looked for a little confirmation from his 6 on the floor and to his bench players, and a touch is called. So it is a successful challenge for Texas.
Now we'll see how Houston responds to this situation, because that was a long rally that they were in the entire time. So I'll look for Akana to ID Kanazawa, who's in area 5 right now, but they've got to terminate inside out.
There's a block. Off hands, out of play, point Houston. Sauer in her first year with the Cougars. She has experience playing in the Big 12. She was at Texas Tech last year. She was all Big 12 season ago, so she knows what it's like going up against the Longhorns, especially that size up front.
How about that? Kanazawa says, stop playing with my food. She takes the second point on a block. Just beautiful job IDing that and reaching so far in, closing that hole. She said, what's up now?
Told you she had experience taking on Texas. Paying off right now. Swindle, that's what she does so well. We talk about the passing. We've seen her size make a difference at the net, but she'll also get her share of kills.
And she quiets the crowd. I know I was a little bit excited on that block by Kanazawa for Houston, but Swindle does a good job, even as a freshman, just placing the ball.
That's her 4th kill of this weekend series here in Houston. Sauer has it blocked back. That's O'Neal leading the charge at the net with Swindle. The preseason Big 12 Player of the Year, Madison Skinner, set to serve for Texas. Up a set. On the slide, that one is in. Kellen Morin had 9 kills, hit 6 of 43 for Houston on Saturday. She's having a good weekend, keeping it going here in match number 2. That's her 2nd kill.
And Texas' execution on the service line is to find Kanazawa, to apply pressure, to make her pass, to make her do it all. And right now, she has serve received very well in this rotation to get Morin going.
Looking for Sauer, off hands, and that drops in. Point for the Cougars.
Right now, I believe Houston as a squad is going off the emotions and the aggressiveness of their left pin, Kanazawa. But Texas is a team that is going to respond. They're not going to give in to that emotional opportunity, and they're just going to take care of business.
Houston's getting it done right now. They've tied it at 6. What jumps out to you right now, Jennifer? Why is Houston back into this match right now?
I think Houston is an emotional team, and they get going off of some emotional, high anxiety plays. And you saw it with the block, and you see it again there with Mbanu getting it for a 2nd point.
2nd block of this set. Add to the total. Morin at at the net, and Houston's back in front here in set 2. Four-0 run for the Cougars, and that one's going to float long.
Now you wonder why Cook changed her serve in that point. She had a beautiful drop serve that got an ace. But what made her change and go long? This is the points. You've got to stay in it. You've got to pad the score.
Asia O'Neal serves for Texas. Cook to Morin.
Now, Eric, I know I'm a little biased because I was an All-American middle, but you gotta feed the beast. You've gotta feed that first tempo, and Morin being available behind her setter for Houston is what is paying dividends.
Kind of sour. Back row attack, Skinner. I just think that is just awesome to watch. It just shows the athleticism, the power, the precision.
But Akana just making that pass, dropping it on Swindle's dot. Swindle had a plethora of options, and she chose to go with her certainty in Skinner in that bit.
Good rip there. That's Abby Jackson, her second kill.
Welcome to the show, Abby Jackson. That's a good wrist away, thumb down to area 5.
To stay in this point. Still at it. They got there. We play on. How much do you love volleyball?
I was holding my breath the entire time. Just the hustle play of Kennesawer tracking that ball. You said it earlier where there's a lot of play area. And to run that down, Georgiadis getting that ball over.
Just a great point. It goes to Texas. Even Houston head coach David Herrera was applauding the effort for his team. Houston back at it. Fighting hard here, trying to extend points, and they're doing a great job of it at the moment. That one's going to float out of play, and it's a point for Texas. 10-9, Longhorns up a set.
Abby Jackson, a little bit of that anxiety coming in, not controlling the chaos on her side for Houston. She's got to settle down and just score points. She needs a good serve set ball to her.
That's the first service error for Texas. Jared Elliott loves the way his team's been serving this season. He says it's one of the best serving orders that he's had in his 23 seasons coaching the Longhorns. Set 2. Off the block, point Texas.
You know, that's a good decision by Swindle. If she's looking at matchups, she sees on the side of Houston, you've got Abby Jackson, who is struggling a bit. So you go at her to continue to keep that pressure. That's a good job by Swindle.
Houston is out-hitting Texas here in set 2. They go for the attack from the back. That one's over the net. Yonda dropped in. That's in play. Katie Corelli on the right side with the points.
You see here, Janda understands that there's a little bit of a struggle going on that left pin, so she uses Corelli, and Corelli finds the floor on the right.
Abby Jackson, good serve, overpass, hammered back. Tullis with the kill. Houston back in front.
Now this is the service pressure, and you see Abby Jackson struggling in the front row, but she says, I'll do my job in the back, and she gets an ace.
O'Neal with her second kill. Kana set the serve for the Longhorns. That one's going to go long. And the Longhorns are back in front. Texas used to playing in front of big crowds, hostile environments, but they've done well. 37 road matches before today. 34 wins in those 37 matches on the road. They know how to turn it up in environments like this, and Skinner finds another level to get the kill. Texas is up by 2.
You think she has another level? Because that was just a rip going on that left pin.
I think when you're an All-American, as you well know, there's a high level, but you're so driven to find something more. And you always tell yourself, don't you, that I can be better. It's hard to see that she could be much better, but I think we're certainly seeing that over these last couple weeks as she's elevated her game even more. You're
absolutely right. Couldn't have said it better. As a top elite athlete, you always check.
Against a top 25 team, Houston ranked 21st in the country.
Now you see Brown coming in, subbing in for Jackson for the side of Houston. But right now, what Houston needs to do is they need to stay in these rotations as long as possible. They have a good front line with Kenna Sauer at the front row on that left pin. They've got Morin, who's seen a lot of action. She has 3 kills on the match so far. So this is a good rotation for Houston to really score some points.
Skinner. And that's a little too far for Sauer's reach. And it's a point for Texas, up by 3 here in set 2. Back-to-back sellout crowds here at the Fertitta Center in Houston. Their attendance record was set in the opener this year against USC, 1904. So to say they shattered the attendance record this weekend is just a gross understatement. Rashana Brown on the floor for the first time, did not play on Saturday. Here you see the junior getting a chance here for Texas as Skinner delivers the serve. Sauer. That was touched. It's a point for the Cougars.
Again, Houston with an opportunity to put some points on the board. Eliminate this deficit, this 3-point deficit right now. They've got Mbanu on that right side. They still have Morin, who's been very active, and Sauer on that left pin.
Short serve from Jackson. O'Neal tried to pick a spot. Off hands. Good hustle play. All-out effort from Annie Cook. Just could not get there. And Texas up 4 here in set 2.
Jenna Winnes on the side of Texas with that kill. She's got 5 on the match, only 1 error. Hitting a 400 herself. So doing a good job as Madison Skinner rotates into the back row.
Remember a few points ago, Jen, Houston was out hitting Texas in set 2. That's flipped. Texas hitting 300 this set, Houston 154 this set, and Texas once again starting to pull away, up 19-14. Big moment here for Houston. They need a point, and first they'll get a timeout to try to settle things down. David Rare using his first timeout. And Texas was Texas after that. Let's see what happens as this match continues. Is Houston down 5 here in set 2. You can see Texas siding out at 68%. It's a very good number. That just means you're not allowing the other team to go on sustained runs.
But let's talk about Andi Cook. She's a back row setter because Houston runs that 6-2 offense, but she can still take that second ball over. This is where they have got to find the points, not playing off of emotion, playing off of the execution.
19-15. Skinner retreats to the back row. Swindle. Off the block. Battle at the nets. Won by Houston. Morin with another kill. That's her fourth.
Houston playing off of emotions. Morin goes against a triple block, finding an inch and a gap to score the point.
Can Kenna Sauer go on a bit of a run right here? Houston needs it. Set back, Mbanu. Wenis got a lot on it, found the mark, and gets another kill. That's her sixth.
Wenis just elevating over the block. Beautiful job of finding that deep corner.
Mentioned her struggles recently, had just 7 kills in the 2 matches for Texas against Kansas. Came into the weekend hitting just under 200, but she's going to bring that number up. 357 today, 308 yesterday. Getting it done in this top 25 matchup.
Now, Abby Jackson has to know that she is going to pass every single ball that is coming her way, so she's got to figure it out.
Texas there with the block. Swindle sets it back for Phillips. Houston gets the point.
And maybe that gets Abby Jackson going right now. I keep saying her name because she's a phenomenal athlete, and she's been struggling on the match. And if Houston needs anything right now, they've got Kanasawa on that left pin doing a good job, 6 kills on the match. They need her to be productive.
Jackson, first team all-conference in the American the last 3 seasons. 6 rotation fixture. Georgiadis at the service line. We mentioned Houston is a very good team when it comes to the depth for serving. And here's one of those key pieces. Senior from College Station. Good save. Swindle. Back for Wenis. They try again. And Banu's there.
That's got to be placed better by Andi Cook.
On the block. Houston resets the defense. Phillips off the block. Point Texas.
If we can relax a bit and just look at how beautiful of a delivery by Swindle, just nice and easy to that left pin by Phillips, finding a seam in the block.
Freshman from Columbia, Missouri. Point Houston. Cougars aren't done in this set yet, but they're running out of time. Texas needs 3 points to take the set, and they lead by 3. Here is Morgan Yonda. Skinner. Katy Texas serving. Katy Texas killing. One on one side of the net. The other playing for Texas, getting the point. 2 points away from taking the set.
As I mentioned, Houston needed to score as many points as possible before Madison Skinner rotated into the front row, and now that she's there, she's going to be just as lethal.
Grace Willie onto the floor for Houston. And a little confusion on the court right now. Madison Skinner will come over to talk to Joni Havens, our R1. Jared Elliott awaiting the explanation.
I'm guessing if he doesn't get this point, he's going to challenge.
So a successful challenge earlier. Elliott with 2 challenges because he was successful. Right now, we're going to have to go back and through because for the moment, it's a kill for Grace Willie, saying that there was contact for Texas. I think Texas saying we didn't touch it, so we'll go back and look. But the Willie kill is on the board right now, so it'd be that final swing that they're looking at right now. The question is,
quickly.
Oh, the call, yeah. The call was that Texas had touched it, and they're saying we did not touch it. And it was a very quick review. So it is set point now for the Longhorns. Halter has played really well. Grabs the tape there. O'Neal takes advantage, takes the swing, gets the kill, and Texas takes set 2, 25-19.
There's absolutely zero you can do. Good serve by Halter, and O'Neal just finishes it out.
25-10 in set 1, 25-19 in set number 2. Is tied at the top of the Big 12 standings, undefeated after their win over Kansas State in 5 yesterday. They've won 8 in a row. You see the numbers by set as we set number 3 into motion. Swindle, little backhand save to keep the point going. Tied at the net, pushed back by the Cougars. They get the first point.
And that was a good job by Mbano for Houston, just elevating, putting her hands being the first to touch the ball there. A little bit of a trap set for Madison Skinner, so she had no room to navigate.
Yonda, good serve, it's an ace. Well, I loved how David Rare told us as he left the court about, what he wants to tell his team. I have a feeling he kept it a little sanitized for us and our national audience, and maybe he was a little bit more direct with his team in the locker room. Message received so far. But then when Madison Skinner starts swinging, there's really no answer for it. Point for Texas.
And that's where you have to rely on your game plan of applying pressure behind that service line, because Maddie Skinner is going to go off for Texas regardless of how much you want to try to stop her. She's an excellent elite athlete. So you got to take care of your 30 feet. And that's not going to get it done with the communication right there.
Little miscommunication there. Again, Houston running the 6-2. So you've got the 2 setters with Yonda and Cook, and sometimes you're going to be on different pages. Mentioned before how good Halter has been this weekend for Texas. They're on the serve. She'll get another chance at the service line after Texas gets the kill. O'Neal with 4 kills, hitting .375. She's got a couple of blocks. Skinner leading the way with 14 kills on 24 swings, 2 errors. Skinner ready for it. Swindle blocked back on the Phillips attack. Go to the left side. Mbano couldn't get there. Another point for Texas. 4-0 run for the Longhorns.
Although Texas is on a 4-0 run, I like the adjustments made on the side of Texas, on the side of Houston, excuse me. They move Mbano to that left pin to take the place and get some more production.
Halter's dropping in aces now.
I mean, at a certain point, Houston has to remove Abby Jackson from the serve-receive pattern, maybe just passing too, because she is struggling tonight for Houston.
5-0 run for Texas. Mbano comes the run.
The Louisville transfer, my alma mater, Mbanu on that right pin, going nice high and flat to score that point.
Of course, last year, Louisville taking on Texas in the national championship match in Omaha. That's going to be long. Point Houston on the attack error by Skinner. Houston reached their highest ranking in program history this season. They were 13th in the second poll of the season. Played a bunch of matches on the road before returning home recently. That's going to be a swing and a kill for Skinner. Akana will come on to serve for the Longhorns. Remember the slow start for Texas? Seems like a year ago, but they lost their season opener to Long Beach State. They would add losses to Stanford and Washington State, the Cougars in Austin.
And Washington State has been playing phenomenal.
Sure have.
All season.
Ranked 4th in the country. Stanford ended Washington State's 14-match winning streak last Sunday. So Texas playing a tough schedule, had their bumps at the beginning of the season. 10-1 since that 2-2 start. And Bono blocked. Skinner, O'Neal teaming up at the net for Texas.
Just not much you can really say about this Texas block. Just look at Madison Skinner. I believe her head was above the net.
That's ups.
And then elevating even more.
Good serve by Akana. Tied at the net, Akana with the dig. Swindle. Joust at the net. Block. Point Houston, though.
Kenna Sauer on her 7th kill, not having as big of a night as she had last night in the matchup against Texas, but right now she is their only one scoring points.
Rolled off of O'Neal, then out of play. And Houston's got another point within 2 here in set 3. They need to win this set to extend the match.
This is a good front line for Texas. You've got Asia O'Neal, but they don't need to even serve receive the ball.
Service error number 3 for Houston. Skinner back to serve for Texas. Last weekend, Texas took 2 matches from 17th ranked Kansas in Austin. Longhorns, amazing run at Gregory. No run here, though. That is Sauer with the kill. Pull the Cougars back within 2.
And Sauer started to heat up in yesterday's match at this time. So we'll see what can happen and if Houston can come out with a win in this set.
Annie Cook to serve for the Cougars. Swindle. Skinner from the back row again. Kill number 17.
There's just absolutely nothing you can do about that. In rhythm, in tempo. You've got Asia O'Neal going behind that slide. And you have Madison Skinner coming on that big, just elevating.
Once again, they go to Sauer. She's the first Cougar into double figures with 10 kills.
And she rotates to that service line. Kenna Sauer has been the producer for this Houston squad. Now, let's hope to see Abby Jackson on that left pin get involved.
Wenis Off the block, back-to-back points for Houston.
Grace Riley for Houston being very patient there, and Kellen Morin just coming to close that block.
Houston, a very good serving team. They're going to have to lean on that here down the stretch. They're going to have to be flawless on the serve, build up a little momentum, and perhaps they are finding a little momentum right now, tying it at 10 here in set 3.
Again, the emotional roller coaster. Kennesaw doing a good job of placing that ball and leaving only one option on the Texas offense, and Jenna Winnes could not convert.
3-0 run. Sauer tries to keep it rolling with the serve. Georgiades got there. Back row attack for Houston. Couple of digs for Texas. Skinner grabs it. Can't get this one though. 4-0 run for the Cougars. Timeout Texas.
Again, 23 kills in the match yesterday. She's got 10 leading her attackers, leading the offense for Houston. But first 2 sets, and she gets an ace.
So Texas takes the timeout, tries to ice the server, and what does she do? She's ice cold.
Kendra Sauer says, I got this. You try to ice the server, and I come out with an ace. She's doing, and another one. She loves it. Look at the grin on her face. She's aiming for Jenna Winnes. And right now, Jenna Winnes is saying, I don't want to pass the ball. Kenna Sauer, let's see if she does it again.
Serves Winnes, handles this one. Skinner with the attack. Georgiades gets there. Swindle! They say it was down. Point Texas.
And this is where Swindle is so good. She allows her opponents to think that they have the momentum, and then she just puts the ball back over, scores on the second ball.
So that ends a 6-0 run. Now back-to-back points for the Longhorns to pull within 1. Swindle puts it in play. Jackson, another dig by Halter. Winnes stops, but only for the moment. No getting that one. Good hustle play again by Annie Cook, but another point for Texas.
And that was beautiful hustle by Cook. You've got to wonder why Abby Jackson again did not go for that ball. She has got to have some type of consistency and some type of will to want to play these points.
Good serve by Swindle. That one's going to head out of play. Point Houston. That ends the 3-0 Texas run. Georgiades with the serve. Swindle goes long and off hands. Phillips gets the kill.
To have so many options on the side of Texas, again, going after Jenna Winnes on that serve and having Phillips on the left pin. Molly Phillips saying, I'll take care of it.
But how about the work of the freshman setter working with all those options? Because you may look at it and say, well, I've got so many choices here. That hustle play to keep it in play for Houston. Another dig, but it's...
As a young setter, that's what you want. You want to be able to have options to kind of, especially if your first year running an offense.
That's a point. Good swing there from Abby Jackson, the kill for Houston.
And that's what I like to see. She's struggling, she knows it, but she is still taking those rips. Annie Cook can use to get the ball up a little bit higher to Jackson to take her full swing, but you've got to appreciate that she is going down all the time swinging.
Phillips, good dig there. The pancake by Georgiadis. Halter tight at the net. And a point for Houston. Up by 2 here in the third.
Great up by
Georgiadis got
Houston.
it. Yes.
Yeah. And we're familiar with how Georgiadis plays. She just goes balls to the wall. Very good floor defense.
Didn't have to travel as far as she's had before for that dig. Oh, there she is again.
Beautiful by Tullis.
Off the block. Skinner. That's long. Houston up by 3.
Houston, the intangible for Houston is they play with so much emotions. They've got to figure out how to control that chaos in the midst, and they're up by 3.
Free ball put down. Tullis. Texas will use their second timeout now, down 18-14.
64.
Texas out of timeouts. A reminder, ESPN's NHL doubleheader night, Tuesday night, Lightning and Sabres in Buffalo at 7:30 Eastern gets us started. The Avalanche and the Kraken in Seattle follows at 10 Eastern time. It all starts with The Point at 6 Eastern on ESPN2. Well, at the very least, Houston has pushed Texas hard this set, forced them to use their 2 timeouts. And now out of that timeout, what else? Texas draws up a play for Skinner, and she puts it away for the point.
Out of that timeout, take care of business, Texas. Get a pass, and you've got Madison Skinner on that left pin. She's going to execute and terminate.
Remember yesterday, I told you before, Houston had a lead late, 22-18, and then Texas went on a 7-1 run. So this is Texas being pushed again here today by Houston, and now back-to-back points for the Longhorns. Houston experienced this. You know it doesn't take much for Texas to build a little momentum, get that block going a little bit. So you just get the sense right now, this is the moment, and right now we're going to have a challenge here for Houston.
And Coach Rear has taken this challenge because he does not want the momentum to be stolen from his squad. That is what they're building on right now.
Well, he or one of his staff members or one of his players perhaps saw a net violation. That's what they are looking at right now. He does have 2 timeouts, so he could use a timeout, but you just get the sense that maybe they saw something that we did not see in real time. Was Texas in the net? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good challenge by Coach Rear and his squad.
Well, how do you keep momentum? You keep momentum sometimes with a successful challenge, and it's a successful one for Houston.
And if you get a look at Asia O'Neal, she doesn't understand how the call was made, but sorry, sis, you were definitely in the net. But we'll see how they rebound, right? That's the important thing that we've been seeing from the side of Texas is they rebound very well and they terminate.
Back to a 4-point advantage, late set 3. Phillips.
Always on time. Kenna Sauer nowhere to be found. Tullis didn't make the adjustment to her left, leaving Phillips open.
4th kill for Phillips. Skinner leading the way with 18. Akana with the serve. Oh, another great play by Halter. She's been outstanding for Texas. Skinner. There's that Texas defense. But I love the play of Halter. Remember, it was Zoe Fleck in the Liberos uniform a year ago, and Halter carrying on that tradition for Texas.
But Halter just playing the angle. And there you see Madison Skinner just putting the roof on the house. And that is a better decision on the side of Houston from Jonda. She has to move away from Madison Skinner, so I wouldn't have any balls going to that right side, unfortunately, and Banu has been productive, but against a blocker like Madison Skinner, I put everything on that left pin for Houston.
Houston hitting 333 here in set 3. Texas at 194. Can Houston push this to 4 sets? Off speed, kept alive. Point continues. And that one into the net. Sauer would love to have that one back. Rare error for her this weekend.
Tempo was there for Houston. You want to see that succeed there. Ball just needs to be a little bit higher for Morgan Jonda.
Skinner, good serve. You knew they were going to go back to Sauer, didn't you? Texas was ready for it. Swindle looks for the kill and gets it. She's got so many options. Swindle's got 3 kills to go along with her 28 assists. By the way, she's added 5 digs and 3 blocks here today. She had 3 kills and 4 blocks yesterday in the 4-set win. Texas would love to avoid a set 4 here, trying to come back here in set 3. Wenis off hands, and Texas has come back to tie it up.
Texas doing what Texas does. Just staying consistent and getting back into the set and tying it up.
This is a 5-1 run for the Longhorns. They were down 19-15 after the successful challenge. 2020 here in the 3rd. Sauer. Good read by Akana to get there. Swindle clears traffic. They try Wenis again. Georgiadis with the dig. And Banu denied. Sauer, yes.
Kenna Sauer's 13 kill on the match. You gotta continue. You gotta live and die by that left pin at this point, because Morin is not getting those available opportunities to be a threat out of the middle. So Kenna Sauer on that left pin, she's executing for Houston.
Team high 13 kills, hitting 242. Andy Cook. Swindle to Wenis. Back row attack. And that's going to be a point for Houston.
That is just execution on the side of Houston without emotion. You see it off the serve, doing a good job, tagging Wenis, moving Swindle off the net, creating a one-dimensional offense.
Hit the antenna, point for Houston. Skinner.
That's not one-dimensional. Let's just let that breathe a little bit.
She just flies, gets up, hangs in the air.
But notice that Swindle set that ball behind her, so you would think everything is telling you that that ball is going outside to Jenna Wenis, and to have an option like Skinner out of the big.
Tied at the net. Swindle is there. Tied at 22. Houston will take a timeout. Houston trying to take this set, trying to break through. David Rare calls a timeout.
Houston to remain in this rotation. Madison Skinner, although she's very effective out of that back row, they've got to keep the balls to the net.
O'Neal with the serve. And the block. Swindle teaming up with Bergmark. Point Texas.
Bergmark knew exactly where that ball was going. There was no other option for Houston and Jonda.
9 blocks now for Texas. O'Neal with the dig. No getting this one, though. They go to Sauer again. Her 14th kill, tied at 23.
Good tempo out to that left pin. Annie Cook to Sauer.
Sauer back to serve. Looks for Wennis again. Another back row attack by Skinner. Match point, Texas. So it would appear a challenge card has been offered up here by Houston. This very well could be using that challenge card for a timeout because Houston is out of timeouts.
They're looking right now at a meter violation, which I don't see one at all.
Well, here's the thing.
Just a beautiful swing by Madison
I don't
Skinner.
blame you for challenging it because when the attacker from the back row ends up at the net, because her long jump is amazing right now from that back row. You saw Skinner was well behind it. Texas has match point right now here at Houston. The freshman Swindle serving for the match. Off the tape, out of play, and the Longhorns get the sweep. Texas was down 19-15 here in